GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Gear Network presents the Football Talk Weekly Podcast with John Cimino and Brandon Gorell. And now, here's John.
Week 13 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Football Talk Weekly Podcast. How's it going, everybody? My name is John Cimino. I am at the JC Money on the Twitter and at the JC Money on the Facebook, by the way, if you want. And joining me, of course, my eyesore, donned in his Packers gear.
Oh, yeah, we're back.
Mr. Brandon Gorell. How's it going, Brandon?
It's going. I've got the game on Twitter right now, actually.
On the Twitter.
Nothing score.
Wonderful. All right. Well, and I want to thank everybody for using shopgear.com. Hey, we had very bigly numbers after Cyber Monday and Black Friday, and we just want to thank you very much for that, and encourage you to keep using that link for the rest of your holiday shopping. We got holidays. We got Christmas, the big one coming up very soon, and this, Brandon, as well, the very last Football Talk Weekly podcast for me as a 35-year-old man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the downward slope, my friend.
Yeah.
Downward slope to 40.
It's already there.
I'm 37, so it's...
I'm the douchebag champion, the douchebag 30s champion of the world for 4 more years. And the Gear Network champion every week.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. So, all right. We're going to begin with some breaking news, actually, that actually just came down not too long ago. A former NFL and current, now I should say former CFL running back, Joe McKnight, shot dead in Louisiana. McKnight.
What's up with people in Louisiana?
I don't know, man, but McKnight was...
Road rage down there. I'm not driving there.
He was drafted in the 4th round, pick number 112, by the New York Jets in 2010 out of USC. He was often compared in his college career to Reggie Bush, became close with Reggie Bush and Pete Carroll, and of course all of them. Played for 3 seasons with the Jets, 1 season with the Chiefs. Played this past year in the CFL, starting with the Edmonton Eskimos and ending with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Obviously he didn't put up Hall of Fame numbers or anything, and this isn't really so much about the football player as much as it's about another human being that was shot in cold blood, and now at the age of 28 will not be able to live out the rest of his life. That it was taken away from him. It was very, very, very sad story to hear. So didn't want to not talk about that, or at least bring it up. But Joe McKnight dead at the age of 28. Ugh. All right, now on to what I had on the script here, Brandon.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a script for the show.
Way to start everyone off on a happy foot.
Well, you know what? Sometimes in this profession, you gotta break the things that you gotta say the things that people don't want to hear, or it just is the way it is. But
like you're fat, America.
Get ready, America. Hi, Don. How's it going? I could tell you something. Hey, I tell you what, man. I could tell you what New England fans aren't happy about hearing right now. Ooh. Rob Gronkowski is Madden. Out.
Madden curse.
Is the Madden curse indeed? He is set to have back surgery on Friday. This will be his 3rd back surgery dating back to his college days. He's expected out at the very least for 8 weeks. I would think that it's probably going to be the rest of the season. I know he's superhuman and all that stuff, but still, your 3rd back surgery, kind of one of those things where you don't really want to screw that one up. Yeah. Second time for the Super Bowl. So I'll ask you this, Brandon. From a health perspective, again, his 3rd back surgery. Yeah. Those things are not. They're not fun to have.
No.
I haven't had any back surgeries, thankfully, but I can imagine that continuously pounding on, getting pounded on. Granted, he is a very, very big man.
Right.
I gotta wonder if his time now is limited because of this. Like as far as his playing days. you think his playing days might be, or his style of play, maybe that kind of gets tweaked a little bit? Is this? I mean, I don't know. What do you say to somebody that has had 3 back surgeries? Do you think there's him going back to Gronk level, or is he, at this point in his life and this point in his career, gonna just kind of ride it out?
Yeah, I mean, he's had injuries before. 2 in his back already. This is the 3rd one. Yeah, it sucks. It's probably going to give him more of a chance to re-injure it again, I'm guessing, but I don't think it's going to really affect his play. So I don't think he's done by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, fair enough.
I still think he'll be back for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Because they're probably going to be there. Raiders are tough, but Raiders have a bad defense too.
All right. Fair enough.
Both teams do. It's going to be a shootout if they get into a championship game.
Definitely. I agree with you. Championship game going to be in New England or Oakland?
I think it's going to be in New England.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Oakland.
All right.
Just because of the fact of the Gronk injury. That's it. If Gronk were there, I think it would be easy.
I don't know. I mean, Carr just injured his pinky too. And
true.
We'll see how that goes.
Very
he said
true.
that's fine, but we'll see.
Brandon, Darrelle Revis. He's in the news again. All right, week 1, week 4, week 10, week 11. Here we are, week 13.
I love it.
And
he's done.
Manish Mehta.
Oh, I hate
Consider
that guy.
the source. Consider the source. I preface this by saying that. Manish Mehta, of the New York Daily News quoted a, quote, Revis confidant as saying that he no longer wants to play football.
Yeah.
Now, Revis himself told SNY.TV that he has plenty of football left to play. Of course, he's going to say that. What's he gonna say if that were true? So, Brandon, I ask you: is there even the slightest hint of truth to this? Does he not want to play in general, or quite frankly, does he not want to play with the New York Jets anymore?
Well, I wouldn't want to play with the Jets this season either. I mean, the only thing worse would be playing for the Browns so far. I mean, that's just, he's probably a little discouraged. He's been banged up this year. He hasn't been himself. I guess we'll see. If he's done, he's done. I don't see him, waffling and then coming out of retirement. I think he'll ride off into the sunset.
They've talked to him about possibly moving to safety, like
Woodson did,
and everything like that. And Darrelle Revis just, for some reason or another, has been very adamant about not wanting to do that.
Well, he's not a big fan of tackling.
Right. And that's really what he's had to do this year.
And that's what safeties have to do.
He has no interceptions this season at all.
Nope.
Now, there have been talks about, the possibility that the Jets would consider cutting him and eating the $6 million that's guaranteed to him either way. Now, if he does make the roster next year, if they do keep him, he's owed $15 million by the New York Jets. So, at this point, I mean, $6 million guaranteed.
That's a lot to blow coverages.
You do the math. Do you think Darrelle Revis returns as a Jet next season?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
You think they cut him?
Either that or he retires.
Okay,
one of the two.
I'm with you there.
I don't think.
But I think
he's done.
I think it's more he's gonna get cut.
Yeah,
and he'll probably go
not for
somewhere
$15
else.
million. There's nothing that says he's worth $15 million right now.
Absolutely. I
not even half that. Probably.
I agree with you.
That's a true story.
All right. As a follow-up to last week's podcast, when we were going back and forth, I can't remember if it was before or after the rant that you had about Walmart.
I still hate them.
Which, by the way, Toys R Us has an ad that they're advertising the NES Classic. $59.99 on there. It's probably gone.
It's gone. Whatever. It was gone before they even delivered the paper.
Most likely. But I had made mention, we had talked about like the monopoly that the NFL has and that how they would benefit with a developmental system like the NBA has, like MLB has, or whatever. I don't care if this is the reason or not. I'm going to say it's our podcast because we talked about it. The talks of a potential developmental league have flared up. Now, most coaches and players are in favor of having one, and Roger Goodell was on record as saying that the league is interested in exploring the possibility. So, for him to actually say something like that, I'm sure it's going to happen. Now, one coach that was not necessarily in favor of it, I see his point.
Yep.
Was Saints coach Sean Payton. Now, he said not necessarily because of the development portion of it, but he thinks that the NFL might want to explore a developmental league for all of the wrong reasons. Mainly, quote, it would be only for more network programming. Translation, more money, more advertisements to sell, things like that to probably make up for season tickets being lost or things like that. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know. I think that it should happen. I think that there has to be something. Watching the Green Bay Packers this year struggle the way they're struggling right now, I think that it's an absolute abomination that you have to have guys who get limited reps on a practice squad come up and start playing NFL level football.
Right.
I think that there should be a developmental league. Yes, there's going to be chances of injuries, things like that, but I really think that when injuries happen, this will prepare teams for, with players that are ready to step in and play and don't look like a deer in headlights out there.
Be ready within that system.
But it also, on top of that, it also improves the product that you're putting out on the field. I can't stand watching the Green Bay's defense because they can't cover anybody. I mean, they're playing with guys you have never heard of, wearing numbers that are not numbers that most normal football players wear.
Right.
Because they've got nobody left. They're pulling guys off of the tire pile and just saying, hey, go out there and play corner for us. And they're like, okay, I'll play corner.
I mean, to your point as well, the Buffalo Bills even, they were so depleted at wide receiver. So if they weren't for some reason or another making a trade to get a Terrell Pryor or somebody off of a very bad team, I think it would have helped for them to dip into the Rochester Renegades, or whatever you want to call the Rochester NFL Developmental League team, because come on now, bring one to Rochester. That'd be awesome. But in any event,
you gonna try out there, Mark Wahlberg?
Oh yeah. Me and my great Pennington shoulder. But, it would help that for a team to go and dip into their developmental, people that they already have signed and they already have their systems implemented and things like that there that are game ready right there and right then. So I agree. I agree with Sean Payton with, yes, the league is probably more or less looking at it from a financial perspective because people are going to watch and people are going to pay to advertise on there and things of the sort. But in the same, your Green Bay Packers defense probably wouldn't be your Green Bay Packers defense that it is today had Green Bay had a developmental system nearby or something. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Sorry. I went on you on that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, toast you that one, I guess. I have to do it every week, I think.
Yeah.
I spaced out.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, there's some business being conducted.
That's I don't have any devious music right there, so I'm just going to go to NFL quick hits. Paxton Lynch could be starting this Sunday. Trevor Siemian is day-to-day with a foot sprain. Bills fans, Sammy Watkins.
He practiced today.
He returned to practice today, Thursday. He missed Wednesday with his foot injury. Now, let me ask you this, because, again, if his foot is bothering him again, I know the Bills are still in contention. But long term, I mean, this guy's been hobbling on his foot now for almost 2 seasons. Should the Bills just sit him out?
No. They're so depleted at wide receiver right now. Robert Woods got hurt. He's probably a couple weeks from coming back. Percy's got the migraines again. So they've got nobody right now. And, a wounded Sammy Watkins is better than no Sammy Watkins because Buffalo's still on the cusp and they want to win. This is going to give them the best opportunity to do it. But I don't know if it's going to cause a long-term risk of injury. He's probably going to have to go under the knife in the offseason again. From what it sounds like, it's a lot of general soreness, so it's probably some cleanup work that needs to be done in there, which he'll probably just do early in the offseason. unless they, really fall out of contention in the next few weeks, and then they'll probably shut him down. But
it's possible
if he can play and he can be effective. I mean, he looked pretty good last week. I mean, he had limited snaps out there, but he had that one real deep play down the sideline that he kind of burned his guy with, and so I think that they should definitely play him. But it's Buffalo.
Yeah, indeed. All right, moving from
they're
Buffalo,
always in the mix.
There you go.
According to their fans.
Yes. Moving far out west, Brandon, your favorite coach in the entire world, Jeff Fisher, on an interview this week, clearly has no idea who New England's running backs are. He said in the interview,
he is a great coach.
And I quote, "Well, Danny Woodhead's a very explosive running back for New England." For those that do not know, Danny Woodhead currently plays for the San Diego Chargers.
He plays for the injured reserve on the San Diego Chargers,
and he's on the IR. So, way to go, Jeff Fisher. That might have earned you a 1-year extension. The NFL,
so he can go for his 17th losing season. He's got 21 seasons in the NFL. He's got 16 losing records in his. How is this guy still coaching?
I will tell you this:
it's got to be someone with that mustache.
I don't want to hear Jack ask about firing Rex Ryan or Todd Bowles, because you know what, Jeff Fisher is the standard bearer. He for the bar being lowered. How did Bill Maher say it with Donald Trump? For the bar being so low, he has raised that bar, or something like that.
Yeah,
I know I've mixed it up, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the NFL
he trips over the bar all the time.
Yes, the NFL in London, Brandon, not going anywhere. For the 2017 campaign, fans in London can expect to see one more football game. There will be 4 games in 2017, and they are also exploring the possibility of a 1 p.m. Eastern start time to help with the ratings and the interest and all that stuff. Now, from one thing that we don't like not going away to something we don't like possibly, Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, see you later.
Low ratings.
Good riddance.
Bad matchup. They could reduce it.
No. Don't reduce
or
it. That's
eliminate
so stupid.
Now,
just eliminate it.
Now, as far as the history of Thursday Night Football goes, they started toying around with it, I want to say maybe 2003, 2004 for the season opener. You used to have the Thursday Night Football game on ABC, season opener or whatever. Okay, that was cool. They did that. Yeah, I get it. Season opener, whatever. Then in 2008, as the NFL Network began its venture into... and they started toying around with NFL Mobile and things like that. Well, now they wanted to bring exclusive content to NFL Network, so Thursday Night Football for the second half of the season was born.
Yep.
And then they decided, well, let's roll it out for the entire season. I think it was in 2012 is when they started it.
It still sucks.
And then last year, and then they went the entire season. Then they went last year, they went and sold it to CBS and simulcasted it with NFL Network. And now this year it was CBS and NBC and simulcasted with NFL Network. And it's still hot garbage. So please, I beg you.
Take it out like Lassie and shoot it.
You are listening to our podcast. I know you are.
Be done.
I know you are. End it. Please. All right. NFL Power Rankings. Moving up a spot to number 10, Brandon. You and I both saw this coming in the beginning of the season. The Miami Football Dolphins. Staying at the same spot, number 9, the Detroit Lions. Down 3 to the number 8 spot this week, the Seattle Seahawks.
That was a rough performance.
Yeah, a little bit. Down 3 spots.
Probably worst of Russell Wilson's career.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
It was really bad.
Down 3 spots to number 7, the Denver Broncos. Up 6, baby. The Dirty Birds. Up 2-6, I should say. Up 1 from last week. Moving back up 3 spots to the number 5 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving up to the number 2 spot, those New York Football Giants. They're turning into a tough team that everybody is sleeping on.
Yeah.
Not sleeping with, unfortunately. And the number 3, 2, and 1 teams all remain in the same spot.
Yep.
Although I would venture to put I would think to put Oakland in number 2 and New England in number 3, but that's just me because I hate New England.
Yep.
But Oakland number 3, New England number 2, and Dallas number 1. Dallas is currently playing right now against the Minnesota Vikings. Do you have that up on Twitter still?
Yeah, it's 3-0. Dallas was driving, and then he Lucky Whitehead fumbled, and then Minnesota recovered. So Minnesota's got the 34 of their own 34, I should say, up 3-0 in the second quarter.
All right, very good. And speaking of the Vikings and the Cowboys,
we're gonna go over scores now too.
Go over scores. That's right.
Oh.
You gotta get them in where I fit them in. And this is where I fit them in, as per the script. All right. The Lions over the Vikings, 16-13. Cowboys over the Redskins in a pretty good contest, 31-26. Steelers hammer the Colts, 28-7. The Dirty Birds over the Falcons, like I said 2 weeks ago.
The Dirty Birds are the Falcons. Get it together.
Oh, Jesus, the Cardinals, right? Yeah, Dirty Birds, Cardinals, whatever. Shut up, Brandon.
They're all birds to me.
I said the Falcons would beat the Cardinals. They did. 38-19. They are for real.
No, they're not.
The Bills squeak by the Jaguars. Unbelievable. 28-21. Doug Marone's revenge.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans over the Chicago Bears, 27-21. Baltimore. Joe Flacco. He's elite. 19-14 over the Bengals. The Giants, 27-13 winners over
just letting you roll because you're having a blast over here with these scores. I don't know why you're so tickly.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Skittles. I'm not sure.
It must be. It's all pepped up.
The Browns are 0-11, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
All right. Oh, and I just went ahead and I lost the scores.
Oh.
Imagine that. Oh. Phone's playing tricks on me here.
Let's talk about the Buccaneers winning 14-5 over the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. Okay, Elite Joe Flacco here. Where are we?
Oh my goodness.
There we go. The New Orleans Saints, 49-21 winners over the Los Angeles Rams. The Dolphins, 31-24 winners over the 49ers. The Dolphins are 7-4, Brandon.
Yeah.
San Diego Superchargers in the upset, 21-13 over the Houston Texans.
Ugh.
Brandon, please recite the Buccaneers score again.
14-5.
14-5.
Famous Jameis.
Winners over Seattle. That was just 5, Brandon.
Yeah, 5 points.
They put up 5.
And it wasn't like a 5 where like the other team ran out of the end zone to like get it. You know, it was just a normal 2.
Game of the week, in my opinion, the Oakland Raiders and Carolina Panthers. 35-32 winners. The Raiders over the Panthers. The Patriots over the Jets, 22-17. How was that close? I have no idea. The Kansas City Chiefs over the Broncos, 30-27. And Brandon, your Green Bay Packers. Woo! Winner, chicken dinner. Woo!
I don't care that I lost the other games this week in the Pick'ems. As long as I won that one, I don't care.
27-13 winners over Carson
Aaron Rodgers
Wentz
looks good.
And the Eagles. All right, that's going to take us to halftime. Yeah, buddy. All right, stick around. More of the Football Talk Weekly Podcast when we come back in a moment.
Hey, Gear Network listeners. We all know how busy it gets around this time of year. Taking care of your holiday shopping can get stressful. Using Amazon is a quick and easy way to get your holiday shopping done. You can go to gearnetwork.com/Amazon and click on the link to check out all the latest lightning deals that Amazon has to offer, as well as some of my top picks on gifts for everyone on your list. Anything you purchase from Amazon using the gearnetwork.com/Amazon link helps directly support our show, as well as the others offered on Gear Network, keeping us free and independent. Make it easy on yourself this holiday season and get the best deals at gearnetwork.com/Amazon.
Hey everyone, John Cimino here for the Gear Radio Network, and you have asked and asked repeatedly, what is up with the app? We know you have one, and you never push it, you never do anything with it. Well, guess what? We got a better one, and it is free, it is absolutely available for you, and there's so much more you can do with it. Visit GearNetwork.com and click Get the App. It's up on the top banner, or if you're feeling really brave, head to GearNetwork.mobapp.at on your mobile phone and your mobile phone's browser, and you can take Gear Gear Network with you wherever you go. Listen to every show on the Gear Network right from the app. You can view all of our social networks in real time. You can read Gear Network and BLTDsports.com blogs in real time. And you can also shop Amazon and help us out and help you out. It is free. Did I mention that? Again, GearNetwork.com or GearNetwork.mobapp.at. Download it right now.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
Come on!
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I had to. It's the Christmas season, Brandon.
And if you ever saw it, you would even say it close.
Come on!
All of the other reindeer used to laugh.
I don't even want to commentate. I just want to listen to this. So great. Welcome back to the Football Talk Weekly Podcast, everybody.
Come on.
John and Brandon back with you here. And wait, hold on. Come on. It's almost done. I have the video going on too, and it's kind of distracting.
You go down in history forever.
You go down in history.
Forever. You go down in history. What?
Oh, DMX. It's not Christmas without you. Or something. All right. Well, we're back.
There's a better one you could have played.
We're back. We'll save it for next week.
All right. Yes.
All right. I will say, before we get to Gear Network Pick'em here, we went on a little adventure during the commercial break. Want to tell us about it? Listen. This is kind of plays on the Walmart rant, sort of. Its competitor. But I'm over here, okay, before we get to commercial, I'm doing the scores, and Brandon's, like, trying to signal. He's like, have you ever seen Team America World Police? And you've got
It's me.
And he's doing the hand signals. Yeah, that's a toasty there, too. That's another one. But he's doing the hand signals, like, what's he saying? You know? That was Brandon while I was reading the scores.
Me. So I was,
tell us why.
Yeah, I was thinking about it after you had mentioned about the holiday shopping season, and I thought about the classic Nintendo and that NES Classic Mini that nobody can seem to get their hands on, and when it goes on stock, like, mobs come in the door and just buy it right away. So I've been following this site Now in Stock, and you can get all the hottest items, and they give you inventory updates and checks and stuff, and it's usually up to the minute. And so I'm on the site, and I do the search for Target, and put in my zip code, and it gives me all the Targets, and it's all got zeros except for a Rondacoid. It has a big green spot with 3 in there, and I'm like, they got 3. So I tried to get my girlfriend to go get them for me, because she's in a Rondacoid, and she just told me to basically shit in my hat because she's having a beer.
Yeah, Hannah.
So,
hi, Hannah. How you doing?
I decided that I was gonna try to get his attention, but I didn't do a very good job of it. And then, so we went to the Target in Rondacoit, and we looked around, didn't see it. So we finally asked the young man there, the young lad who is after we asked the question, do you have any of those classic Nintendos, which hears 100 times a day.
This is I can give us an accurate accurate scene here. Please proceed as if you were asking for the Nintendo Mini.
Hi, my name is John, and I was wondering, do you have any classic Nintendos?
Okay.
Yeah, we have. He was very nervous. Like, he was like Principal McVicker, if you were thinking back in the Beavis and Butthead days. He's like, inventory problem. This has been like that all week. We've been getting a lot of calls, and you can call the store. And I was like,
I'm going to guess, given the location of that Target, he probably got yelled at a few times about that.
Yeah, and probably in languages he can't understand either. A lot of Laotians in that area.
All right. I'm half Spanish.
So they didn't have it, so we're back. Just defeated.
Wow.
But we did talk about Kodak smartphones.
Yeah, Kodak smartphones.
The
wonderful.
Extra.
I don't know. I knew nothing about it then, and I still know nothing about it now. But all right, Gear Network Pick'em, Brandon.
Yeah.
Back on track here. Last week, actually a good week for the two of us as far as records go. I went 13-3, and you went 11-5. Brings the season in total to 109-68 for this guy, the champion every week. And 102-75 for you. You are now 7 games back, Brandon.
Yeah, it hurts.
And this week we disagree on 4, so you can make up some ground or you can lose more. One of the two.
Yeah, it's likely the latter.
Atlanta and Kansas City. You picked Kansas City. I picked
did.
Atlanta. I picked Atlanta for the obvious reasons. I just think it's their time.
Oh, yeah.
But I could go either way with Kansas City. I mean, that one was the hard one for me.
Yeah, Casey's. I think Casey will pull it out just because they got some defense and they got some guys coming back too on defense too. And Jeremy Maclin is practicing and looks like he might come back, so Alex Smith will have another guy to throw to. I was seeing a thing on the internet actually. Sports Illustrated put it up, and it says since 2011, Alex Smith is the third winningest quarterback in the NFL.
Imagine that.
Behind
Thank you,
Tom
Jim.
Brady
Thank
and
you, Jim
Aaron
Harbaugh.
Rodgers. Those are the only guys that are ahead of him.
Yeah.
And
That's a pretty good stat.
he's not considered elite. He doesn't have to play elite, but
he wins.
They win, and I think he's going to do it this weekend. Dirty Birds' offense has not been as explosive. Their defense is not very good. So I think this is the week another week because they've tumbled a few times already.
Fair enough.
I think it's another stumble this week.
Just in right now. The Patriots don't expect Rob Gronkowski back this season. They're going to make the final determination after their surgery, but it is likely he is not going to return at all.
We'll see.
So that was from the Patriots.
Yeah, we'll see.
But you know how they are. So
Right.
Okay, you have New Orleans.
Doesn't look
I
like
have
he's
Detroit.
coming back.
What was that?
Doesn't look like he's going to come back.
Yeah. Belichick.
We're on to Cincinnati.
You have New Orleans. I have Detroit. I'm not sold on
Yep.
New Orleans defense still.
But they're at home.
They're at home
That voodoo dome, man.
against another dome team. Still,
Yeah.
I don't.
The Lions have been just squeaking out, and they've been playing against teams that have not had very good offenses that can't put up a lot of points.
Drew Brees is still
Drew Brees he's putting up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's leading the league in touchdown passes right now. Aaron Rodgers is right on his tail, but he's leading the league in touchdown passes. They're 5-6. They're still in it for the division, sadly, because it's the South. They're 2 games behind Atlanta, 1
Right.
game behind the Buccaneers.
Right.
So, and the Bucks, they got to win against Atlanta this year. So,
Well, I guess
Bucks could
we
go
can
for that
talk about
division.
that. We can
Yeah.
talk about that. I have San Diego. You have the Bucks.
I do.
I
They're on a
picked San
3-game
Diego.
win streak right now.
I'm on a 3-game win streak with San Diego. I've picked them the last 3 weeks.
But you don't matter.
But hey, man, that's what the Superchargers needed. They needed
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to get behind them and say,
Whatever.
San Diego.
They're 5-6.
Whatever.
And they haven't won 3 in a row. They've won 1 in a row.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't know what I'm thinking then.
I don't know what you're thinking either.
Whatever. I'm still a champion every week.
Yeah, whatever.
Miami and Baltimore. You have Baltimore presumably because Joe Flacco is elite.
No, not because Joe Flacco is elite.
Oh, damn it.
Their defense is, a little better, and Miami, another one. of
Terrell
those ones.
Suggs.
They're another one of those ones that are just getting by. I mean, they survived against the 49ers last week. I don't know.
The
I
Dolphins.
think that their win streak is kind of overinflated.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think they're buying into what Adam Gase is selling?
I
They're
don't
7-4,
care.
Brandon. They're the 6th seed.
Yeah, they're 7-4 because they won 6 in a row. But let's see who they beat. Let's go down the list.
Okay.
All right.
New York. They beat New York.
They beat the Steelers without Roethlisberger.
Uh-huh.
They beat the Bills by 3.
Uh-huh.
They beat the Jets by 4.
Uh-huh.
They beat the Chargers by a touchdown.
Okay.
They beat the Rams by 4. They beat the 49ers by a touchdown.
They just win, baby.
They just win barely. So, next they've got the Ravens. Then they got the Cardinals.
Uh-huh.
Then they're at the Jets, at the Bills, and then they close at home versus the Patriots.
They could very, very easily win 2 of those 4 games. They could very easily win 2 of those 4 games.
2 of those 4. I don't know if they're going to win that Buffalo one in Buffalo.
No, probably not. But
on
they'll win
Christmas Eve.
they'll win the Jets game.
They'll win the Jets game.
They could win the Ravens game.
Yeah, you want them to win the Ravens game. The Ravens are playing pretty good football right now, so
Listen,
we'll see.
last week I said Joe Flacco was elite. This week,
Hey,
Ryan Tannehill is elite.
Dean Pease got a plan. Dean Pease all over that Miami win streak. A little gutter humor for you.
Oh,
Ravens
there
are
we go.
6-5, first place. They got the head-to-head over the Stillers. So, I don't know. Teen Peas.
Okay. Brandon, I sent you a text.
Oh, you did?
That I told you to keep handy. If you didn't, I have it up.
I have it.
What I sent you were the top 10 teams in each conference. In the AFC, the top 10 teams are the Patriots. This is actually in order of seeding. And I only did 10 because, let's be honest, the list had all the way down to, I think, the 14th or 15th seed. And the Jets were on it. And I'm like, yeah, this is bullshit. So
let's just stop right here.
Yeah. So I stopped
10's a good number.
I stopped at 10. These are the top 10 in the AFC. New England, Oakland, Baltimore, Houston, Kansas City, Miami. If the season ended today, those are your playoff teams.
Yep.
Denver, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Tennessee.
Yeah.
On the NFC side, Dallas, Seattle, Detroit, Atlanta, New York, the New York Giants, if I could talk here, and Washington. Those would be your playoff teams. With Tampa Bay, Minnesota, New Orleans, and Green Bay in the hunt.
Yep.
Of those 10 teams in each conference, I want to get your top 3. So your top 3 teams in the AFC of those 10.
Top 3?
Top 3. 3-1. 3 obviously being the
3. I'd go with Kansas City.
Okay.
2 Oakland, 1 New England.
Okay. All right. Why? Just out of curiosity, why Kansas City? Just because?
Just because they have been in a lot of games, and they're 8-3. They're the better of the lower seeds. They've got a better record than Houston. They've got a better record than Baltimore. They're playing in the toughest division in football right now. They just assaulted Denver last week. So yeah, I'd say if it weren't for just a boneheaded throw at home against famous Jameis, they would have beat them and been 9-2 right there with Kansas or the Oakland Raiders right now. So
right.
Yeah, I that's why I put them 3.
I agree.
They're consistent.
I agree as well.
Well coached.
I agree as well. Well, although I have New England and Oakland flip-flopped.
Yeah.
So 3 would be Kansas City, 2 New England, 1 Oakland. Could go. I mean, really could.
Kansas City's 3-0 in their division too.
Oh, right. That's the thing is they are. When you look at Houston, Miami, and Denver, the other teams there, or excuse me, Baltimore, the other teams there. Those on any given week, those teams are easily beatable.
Right.
Whereas Kansas City has been consistently good.
Right.
And Oakland has just been playing lights out, and New England's New England. So,
right.
All right, let's
Kansas
go.
City has allowed 214 points this year. That's second in the league, third in the AFC, behind Baltimore and New England.
So let's look at this. Let's just assume that Kansas City continues to play the way that they're playing.
Yeah. Let's assume.
Kansas City and or Oakland probably have that one wild card spot locked down.
Right.
So the second wild card spot, which is currently held by Miami,
yeah.
Does Denver, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, or Tennessee take over that spot? Of those teams, who do you think would take over?
My brain is saying Pittsburgh's probably going to get it, but
Pittsburgh plays Buffalo this week, by the way.
Yeah, that's the soft spot. I think that if Buffalo plays Oakland this week.
Oh, that's right. They play Oakland.
Buffalo. If Buffalo can pull out a win this week against Oakland, then I think Buffalo will have a very good inside track. I think towards getting that wild card spot.
They will be 7-5.
They'll be 7-5.
7-5. So
with a remaining schedule next week at home versus the Steelers.
Okay.
So that's the game.
So I was thinking.
Then they're home versus the Browns, home versus the Dolphins.
I swear to God, I'm going to say this right now. Buffalo, God damn it. Don't F this one up for me.
December 18th is a big one.
When you play against the Browns, you better come ready to play, and you better come ready to win, because I want to see 0-16 again. I'm channeling my inner Stephen A. Smith here, but damn it, Buffalo, don't F this one up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Buffalo's remaining schedule, the Raiders-Steelers ones, if they can split those,
they got a really good shot.
If they win both of them, I think that they really are going to, unless they go Billsy and lose the Browns and the Jets on the last game of the season.
Oh God, how
at the Jets?
I don't even want them to beat the Jets. I don't even want them to beat the Jets at this point.
They're running the ball really well. McCoy's having a good season. Tyrod Taylor is efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. The team doesn't turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. They've turned the ball over 6 times this year. That's lowest in the league. That's the lowest in league history through the first 11 games. That's pretty good. If you're going to do that, if you can run the ball, they just need to be more consistent on defense. If they can be more consistent on defense, this team could make a playoff run. They could get in the playoffs, and with the AFC being as weak as they are, I think that their biggest challenges are going to be New England and probably the Raiders. I think any other team from... I think they could beat Kansas City. But I think that the top 2-tier guys would be the only teams that they would look like they would be underdogs first. I think that they could beat just about anybody else.
Okay.
Whoever is coming out of the South.
The Bills make it to the playoffs, let's be honest with you. Buffalo fans are going to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, they're going to be happy.
So
I think they would win a wild card game. Next round, not so sure, because they'd have to play either Oakland or New England.
I'm going to say it's a tough one. It's tough. A tough one
because there's a lot of teams right there.
I have to like the Dolphins. My wife likes the Dolphins, so yay, go Fins. But
girlfriends.
I got
whose girlfriend?
The only two teams I don't see. I'm not sold on Denver anymore.
No, Denver is not. And it's looking like Paxton Lynch is going to start this week. No Simeon.
I'm not sold on them anymore. So if it's not Miami, it's Pittsburgh or Buffalo. Either one of those teams, and it's really going to boil down to Pittsburgh and Buffalo.
Yeah,
that particular game as to which
next
team
week. It's a big one. It's going to be at the Ralph, the Cap, at the Cap, as they call it now.
Yeah, but
it's going to be interesting if they pull out a win this week at the Raiders. You better look the hell out next week because that place is going to go bananas. There are going to be
could be
there's going to be shots in the ass crack. There are going to be dildos flying everywhere. There are going to be tables on fire. That guy got banned for life. There's going to be tables on fire. There's going to be RKOs to tackle dummies.
How in the hell, Buffalo, can you ban the guy that gave you the single funniest moment in NFL?
It was dangerous. Someone could have got hurt. Well, no one did.
NFL history.
Yeah.
That right there is the funniest moment I have ever seen in my entire life.
It was pretty damn good.
Brandon, I laughed about it for 2 days. I laughed about it for 2 days.
It was pretty good.
And that was good.
Yep. Bills fan. Always bringing their A game.
I can tell you right now, I'm a Jets fan, but I totally want to party with the Bills Mafia. So, all right, NFC. You're the top 3 NFC teams.
Yeah. I'd go Giants, Seattle, and Dallas. I think Seattle was an aberration last week. I'd go the Giants, Seattle, and Dallas. That's 3-2-1 in the NFC.
I'm going to say Dallas as the number 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna and don't
they're not. They're looking like a number 3 now.
I have been I've been high on Dak Prescott and all that, but I'm gonna say, Dallas would be the number 3. I'm gonna go Seattle as the number 2, and quite honestly, everybody's sleeping on them.
Oh God,
the Giants.
Oh, I was going to say, you say the dirty birds.
No,
I'm going to reach over this table and close your computer. Cut your microphone off.
They're number 4. But everybody's sleeping on the Giants. I think the Giants are the best team right now in the NFC.
Their defenses, they don't have much of a run game, which is going to be a problem, especially when Eli starts throwing that Eli face out there.
If he starts Eli does all right in the playoffs, even though he does the Eli face or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm going back to the rookie wall. that we talked about.
Oh, Bradford's back in the game, by the way.
Oh, he is.
Update.
All right.
Just threw
Sorry, Sean Hill. Like 97-year-old Sean Hill got some playing.
10-yard pass to Stephon Diggs.
What's the score now?
Still 7-3.
Cowboys?
Yeah. Dallas just had to punt after a 3rd and 29 at their own 9, so they're at midfield, the Vikings are right now.
Okay. But I think that the rookie wall is going to happen.
It
And
might
I think
be
it's
right now.
And I think it's going to happen especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't see Dallas going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, listen to the stats tonight so far through
ahead.
almost 3 quarters here. Dak Prescott's 10 of 14 for 113 yards, and Ezekiel Elliott's got 13 carries for 45 yards. He's got that 1-yard touchdown run. It was set up by a long pass to Dez Bryant, and they punched it in from the 1. I mean, did not really go anywhere with that. But, I mean, honestly, Dez Bryant's got 76 of his 113 yards. So 76 on 3 catches. The other 7 passes he's thrown for about 30 yards. So
Not very good.
it's not very good. I mean, Minnesota's been struggling lately, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
we'll
they
see.
have.
I mean, this one could come down, but
After that hot undefeated
I want to
start.
see how they react to a loss. Everything's good, everything's great, and you're on a roll when you're winning, but you show your true merit when you start losing.
Right.
And
I
if-
agree. They still have another one with the Redskins and another one with the Giants, too.
Yeah.
So
The Giants already have a game in hand on them, too.
They do.
They beat them once. So
They do. So if
this loss happens tonight,
do they play Washington next week again? I thought it was.
Yeah, I
I
think
thought it was
it's-
2 and 3 weeks for them.
Yeah, it's next week, I believe.
So if Dallas loses,
Dallas's schedule to close it out is right now versus the Vikings, at the Giants next week. No, they're done. Washington they're done.
Oh, they're done?
Washington played them early in the season.
okay,
Second game of the season, they won 27-23.
okay.
No, the Cowboys have the Vikings left tonight. They're at the Giants. Sunday Night Football next week.
Okay.
And then they're home versus the Bucks, home versus the Lions, and then close out at the Eagles.
Yeah, don't sleep on any of those 3 teams.
Right. So those
Any
teams
of
could
those
give
teams.
them a challenge on all of them. So
If Dallas loses today,
right.
the Giants could very well be sharks smelling blood.
Right.
So look out for that. But that's why they're my number 3. Okay, so now football is done. I want to branch out into something else, Brandon, because I saw this, and immediately I thought of you because I know we've had conversations off the air about this.
Yes.
The MLB recently, yesterday I believe, signed their new CBA.
Yeah.
And one of the moves they made was eliminating the home field advantage
Thank goodness for that.
thing off of the All-Star game. Now, I don't remember exactly what year they did it. They instituted
It was
I wanna
that
say maybe
tie game in
07 or 08,
yeah, it
I
was
think.
07 was with the tie game, and then they implemented it, I think, in 08.
And the idea
That Milwaukee
behind it,
debacle.
the idea behind it was to not only generate fan interest, but player interest. And these All-Star games, that's all it is a big old preseason game. Schmoz anyway.
It hasn't been, though. Those games have been competitive. They've been low scoring for the amount of power that are in those lineups. The pitching has been dominating, and they've been pitching to win and win games.
Well, prior to the...
No, during this rule.
Well, right.
It's going to go back to a slugfest, snooze fest,
Right.
and it's not going to matter. Guys are not going to show up.
Well, that's kind
It's
of what
going to
I was
become the
getting
Pro
at.
Bowl.
Good decision or bad decision for MLB? Because, and I only ask.
I think it's a good decision just based on the fact that I don't think the best team should be punished because their league's championships or all-star team can't win.
You've had 3 World Series championship teams
Yeah.
in the entire time that this whole rule has been in effect. So
Yeah.
I've only had 1, and I think the Yankees had home field that year.
Yeah. The Giants have not had home field.
Right. They didn't have home field in any of them, right?
No, they didn't. Actually, yes, they did.
They did?
They did against the Texas Rangers. They opened in Frisco
Okay.
for the Texas Rangers series,
Okay.
but they were versus Detroit. They were starting on the road, and
I believe when in Kansas
No.
City, they didn't have
they
home field.
started on the road for Kansas City. They also were home field for the Tiger series too, because they closed it out in Detroit. and extra innings
Okay.
and a sweep.
So you said they started out on the road in Kansas City?
Yeah. That's the only one.
They would have, because Kansas City had the better record that year anyways, if this rule wasn't
So it
in
worked
effect.
from the Giants, it worked in our favor twice, and then it was like a wash because we wouldn't have had it anyways.
Okay.
But I don't know. I still don't like the rule. I don't think that should determine home field. I think they can find something else to do with it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You know what they should do?
What should
This
they
would be
do?
a wild idea. The loser has to have pitchers bat the next year. Like, they have to switch the rule again.
Oh, get rid of the DH rule?
Get rid of the
Or-
DH
yeah.
in one of the leagues. Like, one of the leagues got it to be the DH. Like, you're fighting for DH advantage. So, like, if the National League wins...
That would piss
They
off
get to have-
National League traditionalists.
Yeah, so then the National League gets to have DH for a season or two, you know? And then the AL's got to deal with pitchers like all of us have had to.
Now, that would be interesting, because...
You'd have Madison Bumgarner DHing.
Personally, as a fan, I am a fan of an AL team,
Yeah.
but I like the National League rules.
Yeah.
I like the traditional...
You
the
can
old
enjoy
rules.
them.
I do when I watch Mets games, because they're on locally, so... But yeah, that would be an interesting... You know what? NFL, you're listening. Talk to your boy, your boys
MLB.
in the MLB.
Yeah.
And let them...
NFL, they just need to take that thing out and shoot it.
Oh, the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl is the worst.
It's terrible.
It's at the end of the season.
They do the
before the Super
fantasy
Bowl.
style draft now. Like,
Nobody can play in it. Everybody's hurt. Everybody wants to take off. Last year, a serious injury occurred to Tyler Eifert. Cost him some time this year.
Yeah, it sure
Which
did.
is going to make it very interesting.
I can't tell you the last time I watched the Pro Bowl. I can't. Maybe it might have been that time.
I never watched
at
it.
bowling when
I think the last time I watched it, Sean Taylor murdered Brian Moorman.
Oh, I remember that.
That's the last time I watched the Pro Bowl.
Ooh, Sean Taylor and murder.
Yeah, that's not cool.
This is the this past week.
Yeah.
It was an anniversary. Sorry.
Sorry. It's 7-6 now.
Oh.
Minnesota just kicked a field goal.
All right.
36-yarder. They stalled.
Thursday night is football night. All right, that's going to end it for this week here on the Football Talk Weekly Podcast. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
Appreciate your downloads. Appreciate your likes, your shares, your feedbacks, your shopping gear network.
Keep doing it.
Keep on.
We might keep doing it too.
We have enjoyed it, and it's going strong, and we thank you. So, with that, everybody, enjoy my birthday on Monday, the 5th.
Yes,
Buy me
drink a
something
brew.
nice on shopgear.com.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember it because, well,
He will be
I'm going to drink.
inebriated.
I am going to drink.
Yes.
And
As
maybe
you should.
Maybe I'll podcast slurring. Talking in cursive on podcast because it's elegant, yo. But all right, Brandon, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you, man.
So long, everybody. Good God, I hope you get your NES Mini by this
I'm
time
never
next
going
week.
to. I'm never going to. It's not going to happen until after the holiday season.
Good night now.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.